.NET MAUI, another take on it. So this time around we will do Hello World. We already have our Visual Studio configured and ready to develop on .NET MAUI. Let's start with initial app. Again, when you go to start with Visual Studio, let me go back. We will create new project. So let's go create. Let's type in MAUI because too many options out there. It took me like forever. Other trick project types. We will go with MAUI. You have all three options. Again, this is our native mobile and desktop. This is the JavaScript and TypeScript wrappers for all popular frameworks, and this is for shareable component. We will go with MAUI app here. So yeah, project name, let's go with MAUI Hello World here. So it's of the choose your location. Again, in my case, as I mentioned before in other videos, dev my go-to, but again, expand as you please or leave it by default. So we good here. Let's go next. Here's we'll ask for framework. Again, depends when you will be watching these videos. You can still stick to 6, but in our case we'll go with 7. And we got it. So we have our MAUI Hello World. Again, from beauty, what we're receiving from this platform. As you can see, all dependency on Android, iOS, Mac Catalyst, and again, native Windows 10 in this case. We'll need to figure out how to do 11 if we need to. It's out there, so you have everything under the same umbrella. Let's look up platforms. You have very specific, for example, Android Manifest. There's it separately handled out there. Let's check Windows stuff. Yeah, like we have normal manifest, app, XAML configuration, and such. So moving this aside, we're still on Hello World level, but again, it's also very cool to see when we have app icon separately. You don't need to worry what iOS or iPhone, iPad, Android will use. So also the same with phones, images you have by default SVG, but again, convert to appropriate PNG as needed. We have also some raw stuff here and styling. I believe styling this is important. So as you can see, we're right away seeing the coloring, and again, Visual Studio help us to not guess what the color is, so which is good. And after that we'll have the whole styles out there, templating, so make sure that our, let's say, UI and will be consistent across our applications out there. So this is kind of cross application and such. The main part here. So MAUI program C#, the main application, again, starting with probably familiar to you guys. Yeah, we're using logging here as by default. Again, namespace. We also started our public static class. MAUI program will be kind of go-to. After that, MAUI app, and here's we also including our fonts and such. So let's check other resources app we have here. Right before we have our colors, styles, configurations. There is definitely some behind the scene JavaScript, C#. There is no JavaScript just yet. Here's another one. Yeah, we have our templating, main screen, not much happening here, and main page. I believe this is kind of our main presentation that we already have. Scroll view, content page. We have some images, labels, even button that looks like we will be clicking here. And let's look up on some logics and look at that. The even default projects gives us kind of a taste of functionality out there. So on counter click, it looks like that button. Again, just glancing with you first time, we will have counter adding up. Again, simple verification, it's 1. We will call time, and this is times. So it even kind of will show us how many times we click it. So yeah, let's start to let's run it out. In this case, we will use our framework.NET 7, but on Android, and we'll give a shot on this one. Ready, and we will run on Emulator. Let's see. It will bring us a lot of details regarding licensing and such. I'll pull up again, you don't see on another screen, Android Device Manager. It will ask us at a default Android device out there. So we'll create, looks like they suggest Android 13 and again Pixel 5. So you should end up something like this, and it will keep downloading. So it was initial screen that I couldn't capture just yet. Yeah, let's wait. So this is kind of configuration, and if we into the mobile, so as you can see it right away, we have this, not the latest, but really recent Android 13 API level 33, and looks like even that will have built-in Google Play. So in case of testing, etc., we have our 64 or x68 64-bit architecture that again for emulation should be okay, because we on Windows. Definitely memory, I believe we can increase, and we have our resolution out there. While we have here Android setup, instead of we will do on Windows machine, we will try our Hello World basically on Windows machine instead. So it will build, and again, instead of going to Android, we're supposed to have our like desktop Windows application. And here's one hiccup. This device needs to set up correctly to develop this type of application for Windows. If you don't have the install application in store, go to setting developers. Let's check it out. So by clicking this, it automatically will open settings. And what we need to do to enable our developer mode. Most probably if you have it in your machine already, and it's not your first rodeo, it will be, but again, just make sure that we are setting up this like from the really fresh machine. And again, we will confirm that we want to do so. So that it's stopped, and I believe it, oh, well, no, it looks like deploying after that by itself. And we got it. Hold on, guys, it's popped on another screen. Let me move it here. So we have our first .NET MAUI desktop application, and we'll definitely do the same with Android just to have it. So again, as you can see, we have normal controls here, minimize, maximize, close it, all this stuff. We have our image, text, and we have this button. So as we can see, yep, you remember this logic that we check it, I believe it was in here, right? So on counter click it, we do have our clicker happening here, and as you can see, even without debugging, it's saying that yep, it's happening right there. So yeah, we got that. Additionally, while we still have this one, let's see what other capabilities. Windows show diagnostic tools here. Yes, this it's not. Yeah, debugging diagnostic tools. No, it's okay. We'll keep it. So what I'm looking for, there's options to have XAML Live Preview. It should help us to do the changes on the. Looks like even searches, etc. don't help. So let's go with tools. We will go with option. We go XAML designer here. And we will enable designer, so we have this one. When we in debug, like we just did, so we launch it application, it's supposed to have, it should appear somewhere in here in our layout. In here it's supposed to be have XAML Live Preview, but I don't see this option available just yet, so it would allow us to in real time kind of keep adding it. Again, we can get back to this later, it's not deal breaker just yet. So yeah, let's do some changes here. So let's jump into main page XAML. So again, let's leave the image as is. Let's do the label hello world. Let's do some our touches here. After that, let's increase font. I don't know, like something more visible. Remember how it was like this. Again, it's not live by any means. And welcome to the .NET multi-platform app UI. No kidding. Why it's UI spaced, but it's not spaced there? Interesting. We'll just make sure that we have our changes across. Save it. Again, in this case, we really need to close it and rerun it in debug. Yeah, looks like we got our changes here, but not here. Welcome to .NET multi-platform UI. Let's save it, close it, and rerun. By the way, you can see when we're running, we can see our utilization in real time. And finally, I don't know what was before, but finally we got what I was looking for. So there's additional layers here, and again, instead of going to our application here, as you remember, we did our ampersand welcome.net correction and additional didn't catch. So instead of doing this, we got this XAML Live Preview here. Pin it. It will have some, we can unpin diagnostics just yet. And here's our small guy here. Look at that. I'm just resizing this on the side, Interesting concept. It looks like it's kind of bugging. Here we go. Let's move. I will be moving this to another screen, so it will be out. And let's. Oh, we can zoom in. Oh, here we go. Let's do 100%. Oops. And why it's this blocking us? I'm not sure what's this about. Let's give us some space. Looks like it's not so perfect it can be. I don't know what's happening there. Okay, even if it's seems to be live is on. So let's see if we can do the changes. As I mentioned, hello MAUI here. Look at this. Even without saving, the hot reload would kick in, so we can see the changes. Again, let's do the change of 6. Oh, kind of bigger. Let's go back where we started. And I just wanted to figure out what's up with that. Now it works. When I put... Now it works too, so I'm not sure what's happened there. So yeah, we have this one, and click me. Boom. Ampersand. So yeah, we have this part of, yeah, hot reload. So looks like, again, at some point you need to save, but this looks like it's even in live editing, it changed as we go, which is cool. And again, when we were there, so there is application on the side. We have this additional controls here, so it's basically functional application. So without kind of a full recompiling, rerunning in debug, will definitely have the benefits of that. Again, we're still on Hello World, getting a lot. This is another on top of our XAML Live Preview. We have our live visual tree. Let's pin this for a moment. Let's make this smaller. Again, I'm not sure why this is blocking the view. Okay, let's leave it for now. But here is we have the whole our application. So visualize kind of better kind of breakdown. So we have our, and you can see it's highlight from app to shell to content to main page, as we know, scroll view, the whole pieces, vertical layout. And look at this image, and it's already pay attention on this piece. Let me even like a little bit like this. As you can see, it's grayish, so it's kind of double click even. We can jump in right away where it is within the code. Let me even open another. When you click it, will it jump? No. Okay. But yeah, basically connecting the dots. So we know that we have scroll view, page itself, scroll view, vertical stack layout, easy one, image, two labels, and button. And again, when you need to get there, click again this image, but actually as this arrow, so that directly will jump you to appropriate XAML associated with this and with that controller. So we got Windows running, so we got our live preview XAML. Again, setup most probably will help you. Just in general, as you can see, it's glitching to do so, but it's all right. So let's close it. So we got it. So from and we again ran it this as a Windows desktop app. Let's spin just out of simplicity as Android application too. We finished our device configurations that I mentioned in the beginning, so we good there. So bear with me, guys. So we'll go with again Windows. We will go with Android Emulator. Again, Pixel 5, as I mentioned before. Let's go with that. So it's by default selected and most probably run it. So it will take some time, I believe, to boot up. Some warning here. And it stopped it. Okay. So try it again. Here we go. Cannot be started. So with Android especially, it's brand new, you will most probably need additional configuration out there. Go to Android Device Manager. So again, when accomplished this one, you can start this one, so that it's aside. After that, we also need to just depends again what's your stage of configuration in Android. You go to SDK Manager. The device manager, just make sure that you have, in our case, because our device on 33, make sure that you have it. Just select it, most probably will prompt you with update or install. So have this one ready. From nutshell, we should be good. Okay, so we have debug mode, again our Pixel 5 API 33, let's run debug. So we have some crash there, and here's another step into the process. So emulator hardware enable. So yeah, we can install this, but we must probably go with simply just type in Windows features here, and you will be prompted menu in control panel. So it will be looks like this, and we will go and see if we can activate it kind of on spot. As we have, let's make it bigger. Open. We hype V. We select all two other components. Yeah, just make sure we all good there. And also there is another one called Windows hypervisor platform. Let's check if it's, I do have, yeah, hypervisor platform. Check this one. That should be good, and we will need to reboot. Searching, require files, applying changes. Yeah, just for sake of video, we most probably will not activate just yet, but we will after for sure. We'll do this. So do not restart just yet, but it will remember changes. So for that matter, we will say, hey, start anyway. Looks like even booting up, running non-accelerated, it takes forever, and I don't see any changes on the side, so I'll do most probably reboot to have this Hyper-V acceleration active after reboot. So yeah, we'll be back. Okay, recording seems to be bring us some details, even just reopening the project with Emulator supported, we're saying yes, even just going through random stuff that Visual Studio can help us. Here, there is another recommendation as we went, let me show you guys. So we enable it through Windows feature on the off, so after reboot that stayed, so that verified and all good. So after that again we will skipping this and accelerating with XAML Intel tool. So I will show you also in description below, you might find this one. So just to install this real quick, just make sure that we all whoever required further configuration. Okay, look at this, finish. Complete attention only while configuration complete can be run property disable run finish prior to exit visit. Let's have this page open and finish. Okay, another recommendation when you go through a command line, we're supposed to get system info, so our requirement should say yes, yes, yes. In my case, it says it's been detected, a feature required will not be displayed, which is weird. I will leave it for now. That will leave instruction manuals if we need to get back to this. So again, moment of truth again. Let's fire up our Pixel 5 later. So we have our emulator here on the side, just know it. Seems to be faster than it used to be before, we don't have warnings. Waiting for my emulator to ready, okay, so we're booting up. And probably we need to keep it running and just update the applications as usual. Oh, it's taking a while again. Just Windows, in my case it's laptop, so maybe it's not enough powers just to handle all this fun. But again, it's known when you have it started, but let's see if application will be there. Yeah, just initial setup is like taking forever. I have to wait here. So it's definitely going through the moment of struggle here to boot it up, so it's not like all smooth and fluffy. It might be. Again, my CPU it's 100% utilization. Okay, but yeah, let's see what we can. And they said it's Windows still doing its things, but application is running. And look at that, guys! We have our guy here on Android, and it's workable. Super. So let's see if we can do the changes on the flight with Android. So again, I will move it to the side. Actually, you know, guys, yeah, make sure that you will be part of the same. I will do this in one screen. Setup. Oh, it doesn't want me to do this. Okay, so let's put our font size. I would say this can be a little bit bigger. Let's do 28. Did it change? I didn't feel like. It looks like we need to rebuild or something changes and not propagate it right away. Which just kind of makes sense to me, but again... And also debug is not catching up if... is running. We should be in debug, but looks like it doesn't indicate the changes. Okay, let's do real quick run. I did some changes here. I put debug here up front and also changed welcome to .NET. Let's see, just changes here and put some spacing. Let's rerun it again. Again, not closing the emulator. It should significantly save our time, so it should boot up new application here. We got our application recompiled. I just did this from the beginning. Device found. It looks like it still needs time to boot up the application. Yeah, it's coming. Here we go. Yeah, with all increased stuff and such. So yeah, our changes applied and it's functional, but we are not into debug mode itself. Looks like it's something we can overcome after all. But again, as course, quick recap, we got our first application Hello World running on Android emulator and also on Windows desktop application. So .NET MAUI platform. Again, details in description if you want to set up similar and getting started. And again, please like if you like, consider subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Thank you, bye.